All of this happening 7 years to the day another hurricane left the Gulf Coast in ruin.
Isaac is bringing back memories of Hurricane Katrina that reach all the way back to Tucson. 9 on Your Side's Craig Smith was in Katrina's impact zone right after the storm went through. He continues our 9 on Your Side team coverage.
Long Beach, Mississippi has been getting pounded by Hurricane Isaac, but this is how we saw it after Hurricane Katrina roared through. Neighborhoods leveled, debris piled almost roof high around the few homes that remained. In Gulfport, Mississippi, we found a neighborhood smashed by huge bundles of lumber washed in from a cargo yard. And we met Jeff Pounders, who showed us what 5 feet of water did to his house. He thought it was a good idea to ride out the storm, first in a tree, then on his roof. Now here's where we mentioned Jeff worked as a counselor, helping kids avoid bad decisions.
First thing I did when I got to safety was look in a mirror, and I couldn't quite counsel myself. So
people running from Katrina's aftermath ran all the way to Tucson. Local Red Cross Director Richard White remembers being part of a team of agencies asked to help prepare a huge shelter in the Tucson Convention Center.
The mayor asked us to have 1,000 places, beds, and so forth ready by 5 o'clock. We were ready by 1 o'clock in the afternoon for 1,000 people. Only
about 87 ended up in that shelter, but the memory of one still sticks with him. His name is Joseph. Even as the floodwater rose around his house in New Orleans, Joseph would not leave his roof until a helicopter crew agreed to rescue not just him, but his saxophone too. Like the musician he is, he remembers Katrina by the sound.
Like a giant had 1,000,000 cats in his hand, swirling them around in the air, you know, and he wouldn't let them go, you know. The sound kills you. The sound makes your heart, you know, you can die from fright.
The Red Cross helped Joseph get some money playing music and even helped him get the false teeth he needed. For years, he'd been paying a New Orleans dentist $5 a week to make him some teeth. Floods destroyed the dentist's office and the teeth, so White and the Red Cross managed to get a Tucson dentist to make Joseph those teeth.
He said, you know, I've been in New Orleans my whole life. I'm 68 years old. I've been treated with more respect and love in Tucson, Arizona. I've never been here before. He said, I'm staying here. He said, I've never been treated like a man in my entire life, and I'm staying here because of the Red Cross and because of the warmth of the Tucson community.
Now, years later, it's not clear whether Joseph is still here in Tucson. It's hard to get a good picture of just how many Katrina evacuees did stay here. Now, it's important to note, disasters like Isaac put a lot of demand on the Red Cross. Richard White says there's almost 80 shelters set up in the hurricane zone. That means donations are more welcome than ever, and we'll have ways you can donate listed in the version of this story that will appear on KGUN-9.com.
We see such dramatic scenes on the tube, but you were there.
We were there on loan helping another station because their crews were worn out. Their crews had their own damage to cope with. And the one thing I would say is there is no camera on earth that can give you the feel for the damage when you look across a huge quarter-mile, half-mile spread of area that is just scraped clean by that storm.
Craig, thank you.